What's up, everyone? Netherwood back with more Factorio for you, episode 44 of Season 4 Factorio. And again, there are 3 other seasons, but this is the 4th and it is Space Age. Really cool. We're on Fulgora. This is our 2nd episode on Fulgora, pretty sure. I got like a really rudimentary scrap workshop thing going. Mostly I wanted to know how to use scrap, what does it do, how to set it up, and just get some common components going so we can maybe do something, right? I needed materials. So we got that going. We're mining the scrap right here. I actually finished up all of the electric grid here. I didn't do it all the way up here. I'll do that later. But for now, we're doing fine with power. Got tons of batteries and stuff. Looks like they're, getting used up a little bit more than I would like, because this is not a very big setup. I got a lot of bigger plans. So what we're going to do today, we have tons of things to do. But what I want to do is I want to start building some big stuff. So let me show you real quick the list. So we're going to make a mart today. I need some train and racetrack. That's to get to other islands. Obviously, train production. And there's just things. We don't need to talk about all of them. But I need to get a mart starting to be set up, and I know where I want to put it. Then we're going to do some big processing things. Big processing, okay? That means we're going to use separate islands to do processing. So again, I'm going to need a central scrap processing. It's not going to be this. This is just a test. I already know where I want to put that. So I'll do some central processing, the initial step. Then I'm going to pick up a lot of the... I'm going to actually train away the super components, I guess. They're not subcomponents, right? They're super components to other islands to be broken down and then brought back as their more raw components. So we're going to have 3 islands kind of going on. That's all going to dump off into like a resource area, and then we can, it'll be used for the mart. So that's kind of the plan. Then I'm going to get a space network going, which is just rocket fuel and rocket delivery. We might use a separate island for that. I'm not exactly sure. And then we'll do science production. Probably won't get to the rockets or science production this episode. I'm guessing we're going to have at least a whole episode on building all this other stuff we got to build, because it's a lot of stuff. All right, so let's start out with the mart, because I need to get some things for building. The way I'm going to do this, and you really can't see it from you have to be in the map to see what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine this, right? That's the scrap. I don't care about the scrap. It's not enough scrap to care about. So I'm just going to mine this on a train and bring it over to here, all the way at the bottom, and then do some scrap processing to somewhere in here. And then I'm going to have 2 trains pick it up right here, right? And bring one of the trains over here. We're going to use that island. And I think we're going to use this island for the other train. So the way I need to do it right now, since I don't have foundation, which is actually, I think Aquilo gives us that, is I'm going to have to use the shallower parts of the lava. So no big deal. I already kind of did a test. That should be pretty simple. And that's kind of the plan. So I think first, and the mart will be up here. So all this stuff, the trains are going to come back in. They're going to feed all the stuff to here. We'll pump all this extra crap from the scrap all the way down here. We'll have our storage kind of like right here, and then our mart will be here. We'll also have space for more mart here, possibly up here if we need it, and we should be good to go at that point. I was thinking maybe we put rockets up here, because I have an extra space, so we'll save this probably for rocket launching, and we can also use it to maybe use this for science and bring it back and forth or something like that. So that's kind of the overall plan, and I've noticed that in these kind of builds, you really do kind of want to have a plan. I think this will do for now for power, but we also might want to move that to a different island as we kind of build this out. So where was I going to start the mart? I believe the trains are going to go there. Storage will be here. We'll start the mart there, and we'll build it that direction. So yeah, I can use this first corner right here. So I've got a little bit of mart going here. Some of it was just to figure out what I was doing and kind of unlock some science, but I'm not going to really use that. What I do want to do is build, firstly, I think we can build assembly machines. Right, so we're going to want assembly machine 1, 2, and we'll leave space for 3 because we do like to use it. We like the extra speed. So let's do assembly machine 1. We'll start with assembly machine 2s, but we might expand that actually. We should probably do it with this guy in mind. So let me do it right here. Right, we'll do it like that. And then I'm going to grab the thing I already have over here, conveniently, right, to start setting this up. We're going to do just regular ones here, obviously. Oops, screwed that up. And then we're going to go boom, boom. And then again, wow, that's way, way, way too much. Let's go 50 for now. I don't need that many. Maybe 50 of all this, actually. And again, not that many. We have 30 of these. We don't need that much stuff just sitting around. Let's trash unrequested, because we're going to need that. Okay, great. And then we'll stop when we have a stack, as we usually do. All right, we're going to copy that. And except we're going to change this to that guy. Change that as well. Again, actually, let's do this. Copy, paste, because what we're going to need is ones, right? Which we can do. We'll just add ones to this. Let's put like 10 in here. We don't need 50. How about 10? 10 should be good. There. We need steel instead of iron plate, so let's kill that and say it's steel, which we do have. There we go. Nice. Okay, so there's a... Oh, you know what we need to do? I don't have any of these. Let's give some to trash. And then we'll deposit one. There we go. Okay, so that gets us number 2. Let's leave a space for 3. We don't really need 3 right now. What do we need next? Probably like inserters are probably going to be huge, right? Belt. Because I do want to make belt on planet. I'd prefer to make it on planet. Let's set one of these up so I can just copy it. Because I'm going to make a lot of these. And then we'll just get... No, that's the wrong guy. This guy. And do that. Okay, cool. Because I'm going to be using this a lot. So here we go. We can set up... I guess 5 will fit here. And actually, they should be turned around. So let's cut this. Should we leave space for... Nah, we can do it side by side like we do on the other thing. So let's do that. And let's do it here first. Okay, yeah, that works. Prefer it one more down, but it really does get in the way, kind of. Actually, that is good. And then we'll just do this as well. And then for this, we'll say, hey, don't do this one. There we go. We don't need 2 of those. I'll just do this. Nice. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is just copy paste this. Right? So I can have blocks if I do it this way. There we go. All right. So now we're going to leave that for 3. And with this one, we'll do inserters. So let's do these guys first. Right? Inserters. Boom. Again, 45 is probably fine. I don't think that's a big deal. We'll do that. No problem. Oh, man, I got to fix all this stuff. Because I'll forget. And we'll just build thousands of those. In fact, let's set all these. There we go. You know what I should do is I should copy paste this. I do have something down here, I think. Yeah, let's use this. Right. Let's say this guy is this. Boom. Okay, cool. Save. Great. Now I can just paste it down anytime I want. Okay, there's the start of the mart. So here we're going to want... We really want to get to bulk. I think bulk is probably the best. So this is not going to be enough space. Let's copy paste this over there, actually. There we go. And let's get rid of this. Because it doesn't really serve us anymore. There we go. There's 3, so I kind of like the lines to be in an order. What's this guy? Oh, okay, that's pretty simple. What's this one? Oh, it's just minus gears. Okay, cool. So let's do that. Minus the gears. We'll put instead 10 inserters, right? Regular inserters. Right? We don't, again, not 50. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's do the same thing here, except we want this guy, right? I don't know if we can do it. Yeah, we can do that. We can exactly do that, actually. So it's gears and chips, right? Gears and chips. Okay. Gears and chips. Let's do that. But also, it's red chips. It's not this. It's 10 of these. Okay, great. And then also red chips. So 45. We'll do 45 again. That seems like a good idea. There we go. Boom. Okay. That is the cool thing about this planet. It's very fast to get. You can get off the ground very quickly. You can see I'm already getting bulk inserters, so. Okay, the mart is pretty set up now. It's mostly filled in. We got to put a couple things still filling in, like these boxes over here and stuff like that. We're going to get to the next part, which is creating the scrap production, right? That's what we want to do. And for that, I'm going to need drills, which I have 16 drills should be fine for now. I'm not sure how much of this will actually be processing. We're going to need a lot more recyclers, though, so let me go get some of those. I did create a thing. It's right here. Let's get, I don't know, 10 more? Maybe a stack, I guess? Let's put whatever, the extra in here, I guess. There we go. 20 should be good. I don't know. I haven't done this before. What I want to try to do, though, is I want a scalable system. So I'm going to build out a certain amount, but I'm going to leave space so that I can just add to it. Because that's kind of how my systems work. A lot of people calculate ratios for their systems. I don't do that. I build what I think is enough. I do sometimes do some ratioing, kind of when I'm doing a build that I can't expand. It's going to be a one-time plop down, and I'm not going to be moving. You know, I can't expand it again. But on islands, planets, I just build something, and if I want, I make sure I can expand it if I need more of that thing, right? It's kind of like just bottleneck testing or releasing the bottleneck at each stage, and I find that works better, especially on these planets. Let's get. We need track, right? We need track. I think I already have track. Yeah, I already have track. I was kind of messing around a little bit to make sure this will work. So what we're going to do is come down here. What I don't have is I don't have a station. So let's get, I don't know, 5 stations should do. We also are going to want probably some of these guys. Probably some of these guys, right? We're going to want some trains. At least 5. So let's just grab all of them. At least 5 cars. We're going to want more. We're going to want 10 cars each. Let's just add to this and say, always give me 4 of these guys. Because we're going to probably have double headers. I think double headers is the way we're going to do it. I'm going to want 8 of these guys. Because I always want a train. Even when I pop a train down, I want another train on me. I don't think I'm going to need the liquid cars right now. So we'll leave it at that. Same thing here. Let's say I always want... Well, I really only need, what, 20 of these? I'm not building that much track, dude. It's not like it's novice or something. There's just not much space for track here, so I won't be doing a lot of track. But let's say, hey, keep me with that stuff, I guess. All right, so let's go down here. We're gonna build the receiving station first. Do I also have bombs? I don't know if I do. Let's put them here. I need cliff explosives. Yeah, 20 would be good. Let's try to keep that on me at all times because I have cliffs around and I'm probably gonna have to get rid of them. All right, so we're gonna receive right here, right? And we're gonna do it pretty much as close to this as possible. So let's kind of clear this out a little bit. Yeah, see, we're going to have some cliffs in here. Let's clear that because I'm going to have to put a track coming down, right? So let's do that, actually. It might have to be up here because we just don't have enough space. So, like, let's get rid of that. Would be good. If we put the track coming down, that's really going to help us with where we need to be. Let's do something like that. And then we'll know from here like where we can go to. Okay, so if I put a station down, now this doubleheader is going to have 4. Can it even have 4 cars? That is a good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It can barely have 4 cars, so let's do it. No, well, okay, or don't do it, I guess. Let's do that again. There we go. Let's call this. Well, it's going to be receiving, right? This is scrap inbound. I mean, we'll just put a train limit because it's a good habit, but there's really no point. All right, there we go. Let's do a double header. I don't know if a double header will fit on the other island. I'm really hoping it will, but we will see. 4 cars. There we go. And this guy on the other side. There we go. So fuel, I forgot to do that part. Fuel's going to be different. The way I'm going to do fuel is I'm just going to do it local. So I'm just going to do fuel right there and just put it right on the cars. I do fuel right there, put it right on the cars. Because I think I can do fuel. I think I can, and you know, I probably want 10 chemical plants on me at all times. So let's put that here. 10 of these would be fine. But what I'm going to want to do is turn this into solid fuel, like, immediately. So that means we're going to want some offshore pumps, and we're actually going to want a few offshore pumps. Maybe like 5. Because we're going to be doing this on both sides. We could do it on this side, because nothing's going to be over here. Let's just do it right... No. There we go. I want it like that. So we want that. We're going to turn it into... We're going to turn that into, I think, light, right? Go to light. Yeah, see, from light to that. Actually, we just do solid right to... It takes more, but, like, who cares? Because it's coming right out of the ground. So what do we care? It's faster. And again, we're just feeding trains. So we really don't care at all. All right, cool. That'll go like that. Oh, it's not inside a... Okay, we can, I guess, give it maybe one of these, I guess. There we go. So it gets power. That's going to make us fuel. All right, so that should fuel the guy. Put the same thing on this side. There we go. And we'll just do that for each one. The bots can just fly around. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so that's going to be all of our fuel. Now, let's look at... What are we going to do over here? Let's get in the spidertron now. I want to take all this stuff out. I don't want this here. Let's get rid of that. Get Get rid of all these cliffs. When I need to get back on the island, I want it to be easy. Again, I use a spidertron when I need to go out from under the lightning stuff. The spidertron gets hit, like, it doesn't care. Okay, so we're going to just drag this over here. But first, I kind of want to make sure we know what we're doing over here. Right? So we're going to have to rip all of this out, although it does have coverage. So maybe we don't want to rip out the coverage. We do want to rip this out. And we're going to want to plop down like our this setup right here. Well, that's, I don't know if this will fit. Yeah, it'll fit. Why is it collecting it from me? I don't really want that. Yeah, we're gonna have to clear all of this out, honestly. Just clear all this. Just clear this whole island. Just clear the whole thing. Okay, they should get this done. Let's start building the track. So the track's just gonna come in right here. It's going to have a down thing, right? Like we did before. In fact, let's just go copy this one because it's going to be the exact same, right? I don't think we can get this much track on that one. We'll try, but I don't think it's going to work. And we're going to want to just horizontal this thing. Actually, we're going to want to rotate it so the fuel thing is at the top. Oh, it does fit. Wow, it like, easily fits. So we'll build this, but I think we might end up having to move it. And I didn't want to put it there, but I clicked on accident. It's fine, though. It fits, right? So let's say this. I can put this down because I have one on me. Oh, they need to clear this out. Let me just wait till they clear this out. Be right back. Another thing I forgot to do is stick a signal down here, and I'm not even sure I can. Yeah, there's not enough space. Can I go out one more over here? I can. So we need to move this whole thing down, I think. Let's copy. I don't have any more. Okay. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I can't. I can move it down one. Better than nothing. Take this out. Give this thing station. There we go. Go to it. Stop. Okay, cool. That should let me put the dude in here. There we go. We don't really need this. It's one giant block, right? It's only going to have one train on it. We'll do it anyway, just for fun, I guess. All right, now we can pull this out, I believe, and we should still have coverage. We do. And drop some mining. Finally. Okay. So the way this is going to work is I think we can get 2 lines, right? Because this will be the middle right there. So let's try to do 2 of these guys. There we go. And then let's paste them all in. We're going to want this set up, right? Like we usually do. Which means I'm going to need a couple more of these guys. We always put these in by hand. It's just easier. All right, cool. And I like lights. I gave them all my lights. All right, that's the way I want it. Let's just copy paste it, and then I can just give them a whole bunch of drills. Just go give them drills. They don't have any. They also going to need these, and, well, they have lights, so they should be fine there. Let's just use... It should connect. If it doesn't connect, I guess we can do this. Yeah, that works. Nice, okay. And then they have coverage. Okay, so that should bring it in here. We're going to have to do... Let's bring this thing over here. I guess I could just do this and look, right? Yeah, it's going to line up right there. I'm going to want a box set up, right? I'm going to want... just a regular inbound, right? I want this guy right there. No, I want this. But I don't need the red boxes. I can just use steel boxes, which is what I'll use. But we want it right there. Nice. And then we don't want, let's just reduce this. Upgrade planner down. Right, we want all this to be red. We also want these to be regular steel boxes, which I don't think... I have created them on the other side. I'll just put these down by hand, and then I'll just go... we'll pick this up for the next load. Because we don't need these guys using bots to do this stuff. Am I out of... Nope, I'm not. Give them that. Give them some of that. Probably should make some splitters, because I didn't make those over there. Actually, let's go put that on the mart, because I don't want to craft those by hand. While it's kind of mining, we can probably we can probably get the other track all set up. All right, let's let it rip. It should start filling. There we go. And it does stack up. I do have the stack tech. You can see the stacks, see? So it is getting a lot. It should be plenty for these guys to do. Plenty of work. All right, so they're going. Full boxes should be good. Oh, they don't do full. Okay, we need full boxes over here, guy. We just get the whole thing. This is not... Don't get chintzy on me over here. There we go. Now, the mining op is set up. So let's do this, and then I can connect it, because that's what I wanted to do right there. I mean, I don't know if it'll actually connect. Also, I don't know how to protect the trains while they're on track. There, let's do that, and we can just take this one out. There. And just follow that. There we go. Really nice. That looks really cool. Yeah, it should be able to do that. Okay, cool. And then I need to find a way. There we go. Just like that. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what happens when you're out over the open water with these, but should be fine, I think. All right, cool. So the mining op is set up. Let's just go to... Yeah, there we go. That looks really cool. Really cool, man. All right, so now this guy can go back and forth and at least start loading up. We've already added inbound. Inbound until you're empty. Empty cargo. Jesus Christ. And then the other one's called outbound, right? I thought. Let's just name it outbound. It's inbound. Okay, let's call this one outbound, obviously. Okay, great. Boom. And then outbound until you're full. There you go. No, there's no interrupts or no stops. Just go there, get stuff, come back. All right, so now we can get these taken off, which we need this guy for that, right? Inbound. So it's going to look something like that. This is why we needed to move those. See, I don't need to move that because I can take it off from there. All right, we're back. It's been a little while. You can see I'm starting to lay concrete and think about, I want to make it look cool here. And so how do we do that? I haven't done that on the other planets, and I could. But I'm starting to think about that. And anyway, also what I was thinking about off camera is, this is a different planet, right? Our other planets, I could just set up a mart and I could just expand kind of outward. And I didn't have to really plan anything because it's all just using bots, right? There was no logistic system, just throw bots in there. But this one's going to be different because we got belts. We're going to use trains because we're on the islands and we have small spaces to work with. And so I had to stop and like literally plan this whole thing out. One of the things I didn't plan, let's go to the map view here, is I'm going to need a trash train as well. Because when I filled up, let's say, all the stone, but I still need blue chips or something like that, like I need to let it keep running, right? And I'm going to get more stone, and so I need to send that stone to trash. But I can't just put a trash set up here, I don't think, because it's not scalable. I have a limited amount of space here. So I think I'm going to take a train and pull the trash off to a different island, so I have way more space for processing in case it gets out of control. That's kind of my plan, because I don't know how much room it's going to take. So that's the plan here. I also reset these because they were not equally spaced, and it was driving me bananas. So I reset that too. You can see we're full up now. We need to process this stuff. So the next step is going to be to pull this stuff off the line, and then get it to where it needs to go. This train will be for, it's going to be the chips and low density structure processing. So we're going to take in, I think blue. Shoot, I should have wrote that down. This is going to be blue chips, right? Red chips. It's going to be LDS. Yeah, blue, red, and LDS, I believe. Yeah, this is blue, red, and LDS. I just double-checked it. Let's actually slap this guy in so we can actually... And that's actually backward. Do I have one that goes the other direction? I do, but it's got the red boxes. And I really don't want that. Right, this is the loading, but it's going to have those red boxes. Not super fan of that. That could be the storage. Yeah, because, I mean, I'm going to need LDS, red and blue chipsets in my builds, right? I mean, I need them for, like, space, for rockets and other things. This could just be the storage for that. And maybe I could say load it to the train once you have a certain amount in the boxes. Actually, that's kind of a cool idea. I didn't think about that. So let's get that guy loaded down. Let's do another one up here. This is going to be batteries, gears, and concrete processing. So we'll do that. Let's get that going. Let's start loading this. So we'll put LDS blue and then double red, right? So we'll start it way over here because we're going to have a lot of processing going on. In fact, how do we want to do this processing? How are you going to take it off the thing? We need 12 belts to send it away. So let's look at what that might look like. Actually, let's take this guy right here and just flip him. Let's just take this. I know it's not really what we want, but what we can do is kind of go like this and then flip all the stuff. So if we do in the center, this is literally the exact center. We're probably going to want to do it. I can fit 6 in here probably. Let's just paste it down and see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Not really. I can't really do 6. Let's actually cut that. Let's cut. Okay, don't do that. It's just I'm trying something here, guys. Let's paste it down again. So we're actually going to need it to touch probably, which is slightly unfortunate, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it's probably fine. Let's do it like that, and we'll just have to keep cutting. But let's change this. But first, let's do this. We're going to say this is going to be something else. We're going to take these off over here, right? Let's just get that set up. There we go. And I think we need to... Let's reverse all of this, right? And then we got to flip this guy. So let's just cut and paste. There we go. That should go in. Wait, what's going on here? I'll just do it by hand, I guess. Because we need to go the opposite direction here. Okay, there we go. I don't know what was going on. Okay, we can copy paste this. So let's get this guy. Let's just paste these in all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. There. And actually, we could probably move these. Let's do this. Let's move this over by 1. Because we have extra space, I believe. Again, we need to copy, right? Copy this. The reason I turned it like that is because we're gonna have to set a filter before we let them start moving. Okay, let's copy paste it over here. There we go. I can also upgrade these belts to blue if we ever get to that point where we're like, hey, we're not getting enough off the belt. I'm adding all these scrappers, but since we're not pulling it off, it's not fast enough, right? So we can look at upgrading this. But 4 is the max we're going to get here, so we'll have to do it a different, like, maybe we can pull it off the sides if we need, like, 6 inserters or something similar to, like, fill the belt up. But for now, we'll use 4. So this is going to be LDS. We're going to use filter for LDS, right? And then we're going to say, look, copy paste that all the way across. Then we can just do that. So once we get everything set up, it will start operating. You know what we could probably do? Nah, let's just do it like this. Let me get all these set up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we got them all set up. Everything's ready. Again, these are going on trains. These are just going to the storage. So let's get the train ones going first, and I set them up, the train ones together. That'll make it a lot easier for us. So I think what we're going to do is LDS goes straight to there, so we'll set that up, and then blue, and then 2 red ones. So let's just start setting up those lines. All right, so these are ready. I'm going to let them rip just so you can see how it works, and then I'll get the other train set up as well. It's going to be interesting also to see how I stop this thing, because I don't want to just run continuously. I think most people probably do that. I kind of get why they do it. Like, there's a lot of scrap, so you don't really run out. But then I have to set up new train stops and all that. It doesn't seem very valuable. When I get foundation, maybe I can just blanket down the whole area and just tap into multiple scrap heaps, right? But so what I'm going to do, and I don't even know if this will work, I did do some checking online to see like how other people are doing their scrap processing. And the way they're kind of doing it is, and actually let's set, do we want to set a limit for these? I don't feel like we do. I think that's a fine limit. We might actually want to expand that. I don't know why we wouldn't want more of this stuff, because I really would prefer to not scrap any, I don't need to trash stuff if it's just given to me for free. Then I might as well keep all of it, right? So why don't we keep this open? Actually, this will just be for this whole thing. We'll do the same up in this other train too, because remember, this is going to be the storage for these items. I'm not going to make a storage area. There's already a storage area. It's on the train. This is actually nice because I was going to do like a storage area. Ooh, I can't run through. Like a storage area right here or something for all these other things. But actually, I need to store what comes back. So I'll actually have to have an exit off this thing. Actually, no, I won't, because it'll store it in boxes right there. Well, I will have to move it off for trash. So I'll have to do that when we get there. Okay, that one's done now too. It's a little bit funky, but it will do. We haven't created anything like this in a long time. So it's kind of fun to get back to the old spaghetti days. So I'm not really, this is kind of cool. I'm okay with it. Now the next thing we have to do is something we don't have set up. which is create these storage areas for our materials that we are not going to process, right? Unless it's trash. I think we should probably go with these 6-box setups because we're just not going to have as much of this stuff then, and it's going to go mostly to trash. Okay, so there's a 6-box. If we save a space each, first let's make sure it's centered. I mean, that's fairly central. That's good. Okay, so let's go like this and leave a space, which means we're going to kill all this, and just that way it'll be available when we want to copy paste it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That won't work because it's right behind this. There's no way to connect. We're moving it over 1. Okay. That means we can do this. Boom. Okay, so there's the 6 we need. Right? And they're going to come from here, which means they're going to snake all over this base. It might be best to actually pull from this direction. Right? Wow, how are we going to jump over that much crap? We're going to have to go like this and jump over. So let's start thinking about doing that. We did it here. So what we're going to need to do is jump over it. Let's do it like right here. Yeah, let's do that. 6 going that way or this way? Probably this way. It's closer to all the things here. Then we're going to need an opposite side. Okay, it's a little bit bad right here. I didn't notice that this was water, so it's a little bit of a blip right there. But, you know, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. We will probably... No, I don't... I think the other boxes are already preset to capture everything. No, they aren't. They're, like, even smaller. So let's kill that, because we're going to want full boxes of this stuff. Mostly because I just... Like, if we're going to process it, we might as well have it available, you know? And I don't mind having huge amounts of storage stuff available. There we go. Now our scrap is processing, and everything is accounted for. Except possibly... Oh, that's not connected. That's wild. Okay, there we go. Possibly... Oh, these aren't connected. There we go. Our train wasn't filling. There, now our train's filling as well. So everything should be coming off the scrap belts now. And they're sorted into where I want them to go. Right? These are just storage. You can use them right away. You can also use these right away. But we're going to send them off for further processing because we want, like, plates and other things like that. We'll bring all that stuff back and store it as well. So there we go. Now we can let this sucker rip. It's going kind of slow. I thought it would process a little bit faster. We might need blue belts down in the scrap area to move the stuff around faster. But it should process just fine. Again, I don't know if it's going to clear it faster than the scrappers can actually produce it. That's going to be interesting to see. Oh, good. The belt is almost cleaned off by the time it gets over here. It's really these guys having a problem, right? Because gears come out so fast. What we could do is put in these stack inserters. They actually will do more. And yeah, okay. It's already filtered. That's great. They should actually pick up a lot more. There we go. They're cleaning that belt off. And they're putting stacks on the belt. So the belt will actually hold more. Now we probably need to do the same over here. Because these guys are not going to be... yeah, they can keep up. They should be able to keep up with this. We'll see when it comes... Yeah, it's coming in full blast now. Let's see if they can keep up. Yeah, no problems. It's 6 inserters compared to, you know, a couple, right? So, all right, so that's great. We undid that bottleneck already. I think yeah, that's it. No other bottlenecks. Great. This is awesome. Yeah, it's pretty much fully cleaned off by the time it gets back. Maybe these guys need... No, they're fine too. They're missing some stuff. Let's maybe put stack inserters here as well. Because they won't miss as much. They can grab a whole stack at a time. Whereas the green guys have to pick up a one at a time. They go through the stack and keep picking it up. These guys can lift a whole stack. Because you can see these recyclers are creating stacks, right? And so it's better to have these... If you really want to move that off the belt fast, that's the best way to do it. Okay, cool. So it looks like the belt is completely clean now. We're processing everything. Now let's start setting up... What do we want to set up next? We're not going to need trash for a long time, so I'm not super concerned. Let's start setting up this next train and get it loaded. We should have trains ready to rock, because I already set all that up. These will be double headers. So they will just go back and forth. That's going to help us out a ton as well. Where are my... There they are. So let's get these loading. Nice. I don't need filters here, because again, this belt is already filtered. It's pre-filtered. So no need there. Let's just get the train set up. And... Bam. Okay. The next thing we're going to have to do, let's set the other trains up, but then we're going to pull off a train track probably on the next episode, because I think let's get all this stuff set up, all the trains, all that stuff, and then on the next episode we'll set up all the islands and stuff. So let's get some more trains set up over here. Boom, boom, and then the cars. Very cool. Now we can start filling them and get them all ready to go for processing. Then we're going to need a trash train, so we should probably put it right here. So before we get too far into this, let's pick up one of these train stations, and actually it's going to be this one. We're going to get a little bit of duplication here because we're getting we want the fuel as well. I think we do it the same. Actually, we're kind of want it way no. This is fine. So the trash train is going to be agnostic. Anything can go in the trash train. So it's going to be sushi belts leading up to the trash train. Trash means we want to just get rid of it. Nothing is going to come back. It's going to take trash out, put it into a circle of recyclers that just kill everything. And then actually we probably could do the recycling right here. Because I was watching a way to trash things. It's very fast process. And we have plenty of space to do tons of trash processing. Maybe we don't need this. Let me think about that before we go any further with that. Right, let's think about that. So I'm going to end it here. I feel like this is a pretty long episode already. But there we go. Trash processing, or scrap is set up. Everything's getting split up. The trains are loading. On the next episode, we'll fill in the trains and the rest of the stuff that comes back. That's probably one episode. Then I think we're going to be ready to set up the science, right? The extra materials we need to get science. Maybe a few more things on the mart. But the mart is pretty set up. Let's look at it real fast, because I didn't really show you what we got. We got a lot of stuff here. I actually know you saw it before, but we have just tons of things, right? I've already got lubricant. That's really easy because we get heavy oil. It's right there. This is a really easy planet, actually. The hardest thing, I think, is just processing your scrap and kind of figuring out how to not get bottlenecks. But that's going to do it for this episode. Let me know what you think in the comments section. I really appreciate those who are still viewing. And you're probably new here, which is most people. Hopefully you'll stick around. I'll see you on the next one. Stay frosty.